Gunfire near downtown. A woman hit while we're learning about the shooting on North Erie Street. Bed bugs. One woman's quest to get rid of the pests and get out of her lease. And trying to avoid another dip into the rainy day fund. The county gets the ball rolling on a sales tax increase. But we start tonight with breaking news out of Toledo Express Airport, where smoke was reported in a building there. Welcome into 13 minutes of nonstop news. I'm Lee Conklin. Diana's off tonight. And this just in, within the last 5 minutes, the Port Authority telling us the Tracon facility at Express Airport has been given the all clear and is back and working. That's after emergency crews responded to the structure around 8:45 tonight. Tracon stands for Terminal Radar Approach Control. It monitors airspace within 30 miles of Toledo Express. When flights are within 5 miles of the airport, air traffic control takes over. Port Authority officials tell us emergency crews responded to the smoke. Unable to identify any fire, there were no injuries. They say the cause of that smoke at the Tracon facility was linked to an HVAC belt on a roof, and no flights were affected. It was a busy night in Toledo. Police responding to a shooting on the city's north side. A woman is recovering after she was shot in the 3500 block of North Erie. That's near Suter Avenue. Happened around 6 o'clock tonight. Police tell our media partner The Blade that the woman was unloading groceries from her car when a man opened fire. The suspect was accompanied by another man dressed in dark clothing. Police say one of the men shot the woman in the leg. She was taken to the hospital, but her condition is unknown. Police say both men fled the scene. Stay with 13 ABC for more on this developing story tonight. Police investigating a car crash that took down a pole. Happened at Bellevue and Monroe Street earlier tonight. Police tell us a woman driving the car lost control, possibly because of low blood sugar. That's when she hit a guard wire and brought the pole down. As you can see here, the pole was knocked over, but it did not block the road. Bellevue at Monroe was closed after the crash, but has since reopened. And we're told the driver's okay. She didn't suffer any serious injuries, but police tell us she'll probably be cited for failing to control her vehicle. And this just in tonight, we're learning that Betty Schultz, a longtime Toledo City Council member, has passed away. Betty Schultz served for many years as an at-large council member. She left City Council in 2009 because of term limits. Doctors say she died tonight from kidney failure. She was 84 years old. Our condolences going out to the family. Once again, Betty Schultz has died at the age of 84. This holiday travel season, more and more folks are first checking their hotel rooms or families' guest rooms for bed bugs. One Toledo woman says she didn't have to go anywhere because the bugs somehow infested her home. 13 ABC's Christine Long live tonight with a story all new at 11. Christine.
Lee, some parents tuck their kids into bed saying good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Well, that phrase carries a new meaning for a mother who moved into an apartment building a few months ago.
It's scary, you know, it's scary to have to live with them.
Denisha Williams says she can't sleep because of a bed bug problem.
I caught one.
You caught one?
I caught one.
This plastic bag contains her nightmare.
They hide, they multiply. It's terrible.
In August, Williams moved into this Vistula Heritage apartment building on LaGrange with her 4-month-old son, Sincere. It's privately owned Section 8 housing. The two have gone to the doctor 4 times in the last 4 months because of bed bug bites.
They itch really bad and they swell up and they're red.
These are pictures of Williams' arm and Sincere's arm, back, and legs. This is a letter from their doctor saying it's not safe.
But I have nowhere to go because, you know, nobody wants somebody with bed bug to come over there. What if they go to their house or something like that?
We go above and beyond.
A worker at the landlord's office who wouldn't give her last name tells 13 ABC Vistula Heritage Village sent an exterminator to Williams' apartment several times to spray, including this morning. The exterminator tells 13 ABC the apartment was clear.
We spray it and we spray the bugs when we see them. I think because last month I might have saw 1 or 2, but this month we didn't see anything.
The tenants also have to do their part and not have lots of company tracking in. They have to use alcohol and bleach and things like that to clean.
Meanwhile, Williams wants to be let out of her lease or relocated within the Vistula system because of her son.
I really want to get out of here. It's bad.
The director of housing says he would be happy to talk with Williams, but Vistula has HUD or federal government restrictions about reasons for moving.
According to the CDC, bed bugs are a worldwide problem and they are resurging, causing property loss, expense, and inconvenience. They do not transmit disease. We're told the best way to prevent bed bugs is regular inspection for signs of an infestation. Reporting live, Christine Long, 13 ABC Action News.
Christine, thanks very much. Want to talk about the weather now. Clouds giving way to some shower activity tonight and rising temperatures. 13 minutes of nonstop news continues. Chief Meteorologist Jay Burschbag. Jay?
Lee, this is the warmer air trying to push the colder air back into Canada. We did have some light showers out there tonight, even some drizzle and mist. Viper HD tracking what's left of that first batch of rain, now up near Detroit and Flint. There is more to come, developing down near Cincinnati, Louisville, Indianapolis, moving northward, but it does look like we may squeak out some dry hours tomorrow. Little bonus there with those warmer temps. Now, as far as that storm system for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, still our two main threats: gusty winds over 40 miles per hour and maybe an inch of rainfall. This will change to some light snow just in time for Christmas morning, and that still gives us a 45% chance for an inch or more of snow on the ground. Not a big snow, but maybe just enough. The latest on Predictor, your hour-by-hour look at that transition, and your 7-day coming up real soon.
Just enough. We like that. All right, Jay, thank you. Well, the new year could bring higher taxes to Lucas County. Commissioners want to hike the sales tax up 0.25% to 7.25%. They made the first move toward doing just that this morning. They say the money would go toward funding government operations, but it could also be used to help fund a new jail.
So for 25 cents on a $100 purchase, you're investing in the future of Lucas County.
And the higher tax, if approved, is expected to generate some $14 million a year for the county. Some car dealers and appliance store owners we talked with say they plan to absorb the cost of that new tax if it means keeping prices low and customers happy. 2 public hearings are scheduled for next month. Continuing coverage now, the condemned apartments at Riviera Maya in Toledo. A judge has ordered the city to provide 24-hour security at the complex. That decision coming after one of the owners, Vladimir Sklarov, showed up in court. He had hired a security company for 12 hours a day, but the city says that company has stopped working because they weren't being paid. So the city is putting off-duty police officers to watch the place around the clock. The city says it's hopeful a developer can come in and turn that complex around. A tiny shrine is being set up at a site along the Huron River where a 4-year-old boy lost his life 4 days before Christmas. Erie County Sheriff's investigators say the woman responsible for the boy's death was driving drunk when it happened. This is the woman police have arrested, 32-year-old Lindsay Gunlock. She's facing charges tonight ranging from child endangering to aggravated vehicular homicide. It all started when she got together with one of her friends. This according to police. Gunlock put her friend's 2 kids in the car to take off. The mother of the kids planned to follow behind her in her own car. Problem is, Gunlock's blood alcohol level was over the legal limit. She missed the street and backed right into the Huron River. Incident happened late last night along Riverview Drive in Milan Township. 13 ABC's Melissa Veitch has more on the story tonight from Erie County.
Neighbors who live along Riverview Drive in Milan Township are laying stuffed animals along the riverbank here. The site where 4-year-old Javin Jakes was pulled from the waters. Investigators say he was trapped in his car seat when Lindsay Grunlock backed into the icy waters.
Erica, the mom, saw what had happened. She dove in. We have indications that Erica's boyfriend, who was also at the house, also dove in.
A neighbor stepped in to help, extending this ladder to reach and save Gunlock and the 7-year-old girl, Autumn, who was in the car with her brother. They couldn't reach the toddler.
But by the time they got there, the vehicle had sunk into the river. It was completely submerged.
Neighbors on the road say rescue crews worked hard to try and save the boy, but the vehicle slid into deep waters.
That little boy was in there pretty long. You know, I really didn't think there was much hope.
The loss shocking this quiet riverfront community.
It's very tragic, and to think that, you know, at least she was able to save the little girl, and, you know, she was very brave mother, I would say.
Investigators say there are still a lot of unanswered questions about the events leading up to the drowning of 4-year-old Javin. So this is still very much an active case. Melissa Veitch, 13 ABC Action News.
And be up to the minute you're up, beginning at 4:30 tomorrow morning. Jeff, Sasha, Bill, Nicole, and Rebecca, the entire team on 13 ABC Action News. Good morning at 4:30. Well, it's the time of the year when people really want to give back, and many are. For local organizations, volunteers are the ones that keep them up and running, especially around the holidays. 13 ABC's Amy Montgomery went to the Cherry Street Mission, where volunteers step up year-round. Amy?
Well, Lee, many volunteers that we talked to today say that they do it because they just want to help. It's really a heartfelt gesture that, as you mentioned, keeps those organizations like Cherry Street up and running for those who need it most. It's dinner time at the Madison Food Service and Community Center. While hundreds of people get ready to enjoy a home-cooked meal, volunteers behind the scenes are working hard to make sure everyone has what they need.
I have it easy. I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean up. I just stand in line and I serve food. Sometimes I serve the plates.
Dave Clay has spent the last 3 or so years lending a hand. He says he was going through a rough time and decided to volunteer. The rest is history.
I just have an affinity with the people. Maybe they call to me.
We have a group of volunteers. Some, one you'll see tonight, comes every week, once a week, and then we have some others that come 3 times a week.
On any given day, you'll find anywhere from 2 to 40 volunteers doing everything from administrative work to cooking. And then there are some who stop by to brighten spirits.
It's kind of fun to just play and see people's reactions to the music.
When you're homeless, like sometimes like you don't have a family, so being with friends or family, music brings a smile to your face sometimes, you know.
The Toledo Youth Orchestra donates time to many different organizations. But around the holidays, this experience means more.
It makes me personally happy to see them happy.
For Cherry Street Ministries, these small gestures make all the difference for those who are trying to get back on their feet. Now, Cherry Street is essentially booked up on volunteers for Christmas this year. However, that need is year-round. If you would like to help, get connected to 13abc.com for a link. Reporting live, Amy Montgomery, 13ABC Action News.
It's been 2 days since a man shot and killed 2 New York City police officers. And today, investigators are trying to learn more about the motives that led to the shooting deaths of Wenguian Liu and Rafael Ramos. Authorities identified Ismail Brinsley, the man you see here, as the shooter who killed himself late this afternoon. And I should say over the weekend. This afternoon, NYPD released this video from a Brooklyn mall. It shows Brinsley hours prior to the shooting on Saturday holding a white bag that police believe contained the murder weapon. New York's Mayor Bill de Blasio visited the families of both officers.
You can only imagine what a family member is going through at that moment, where their lives have suddenly been made unimaginable.
This is a difficult time for both of our families, but we will stand together and get through this together.
De Blasio has come under fire for being too sympathetic with anti-police protesters. Today, he urged people to hold off on demonstrations until after the funerals are over. North Korea facing an internet collapse tonight, just days after the U.S. government blamed the country for that Sony cyber attack. It's not clear if the U.S. is involved in any way for the loss of the internet in North Korea, but now North Korea is threatening another attack, saying it wants the U.S. to investigate more and prove that North Korea isn't at fault.
If they want to help here, they can admit their culpability and compensate Sony for the damages that they caused.
Now, Sony Pictures has another problem on its hands. Some movie theater owners are upset that CEO Michael Lyons implied that the company canceled the Interview release at their request. We've learned that Lyons reached out to those theater chains and tried to clarify. He says he doesn't mean to say that the theaters were fully responsible for pulling the plug on the Interview. New at 11, here's a look ahead at what's in tomorrow's editions of The Blade. Meet the new Chief Operating Officer and President of Glass Containers at Owens, Illinois. Plus, more than 3 decades later, a Michigan man pleads guilty to involuntary manslaughter and rape for the 1983 attack on Janine Brown. You can read more about these and other stories in a copy of tomorrow's edition of The Blade and at ToledoBlade.com. 13 minutes after 11, much more ahead tonight. Officer to the rescue. It's caught on camera how he saved a little boy's life. Approval ratings in the president, what the numbers show about the feelings of U.S. military members. And Christmas comes early for UT's head football coach. Details on the contract extension for Matt Campbell. Those stories plus Day says, well, some interesting weather could be on the way for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We're back in just 35 seconds.
This is 13ABC Action News with Lee Copeland. Now, 13ABC First Warning Weather with Chief Meteorologist Jay Berschbach.
That big warm-up is on the way, and that's what's causing tonight's rain and tomorrow's early rain. Tracking that on Live Doppler 13,000 HD. Just a few sprinkles at this point. Did have some overall steady rainfall move through this evening. It was very light, but now really just 2 showers, one north of Holland, south of Sylvania. That's lifting northward, and then more west of Adrian, that too, lifting off to the north. So for the next hour or two, just sprinkles, but there is more rain, and look at it here in motion developing to our south and southwest. This is our weather in motion, satellite radar composite. A lot of rainfall to get through tonight, maybe a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch, but some good news for tomorrow. Maybe a few of you have plans to get some extra golfing in the next couple of days. Looks like we'll dry out throughout the day, at least the chance of rain diminishing, and with highs in the upper 40s to near 50 in December, you can't beat that. Today's high was 39, the low 21 degrees. At the airport, just a trace of rain today, so still an 1.5 inches behind normal when it comes to rain and snow. And these numbers here, don't forget the shortest day of the year, longest night, that was yesterday, the first day of winter. So now these numbers make the days a bit longer. Slowly at first, and then that accelerates as we get into spring. For today, the high was again 39. We're at 38 with those temperatures rising. East winds are at 10 with a wind chill of 31. All of us above freezing tonight. No concern for any ice. Already in the 40s down south, and that's just that warmer air pushing northward. Let's get into the forecast now with the latest information for you with Predictor by the Hour. Here's 7 a.m. tomorrow, and there goes the rain. How about that? Maybe some lingering showers early, but the trend here, it's our friend. Yeah, that rain moves out much of our day. There could be a sprinkle through about noon, 3 o'clock, and then even some sunshine developing. That helps the high near 50 degrees. More rainfall moves in here into early Christmas Eve day, 7 a.m. If you have plans to travel, maybe going to Chicago, Indy, you'll drive into the rain. Going eastward to Cleveland, driving out of the rain, but more of that rain moves in. There's the snow trying to form on the back edge of the system. It'll become more and more windy Christmas Eve evening. That's 5 p.m. Snowfall briefly moves overhead overnight into early Christmas Day. And then, how about this for an extra bonus? Later in the day on Christmas, some clearing works in from the west. So maybe the day starts cloudy, windy, cold, and a little snow, may end with a bit of Christmas sunshine. And again, snow amounts right now, 1 inch or less. Need 1 inch of snow on the ground to make it a white Christmas. We'll have to wait and see on that. For tonight, your low, that is, 37, but rising. So that was last hour's temperature. By sunrise, closer to 40. For tomorrow, rain chances early, then diminishing throughout the day. A little breeze from the south here at 5 to 15. Now your 7-day. Windy conditions Wednesday into Thursday. Winds may gust over 40 miles per hour from the west. Look at that, though. 2 days in the 50s, near 50. 35 on Christmas Day with that wind chill in the teens. We're dry Friday, 43. The weekend, uneventful for the most part. Mid to upper 30s or lower 30s each day. Chance of light snow showers on Sunday. And cool and dry to begin next week. On Monday, the high about 32 degrees. So we'll have to still track this one, but right now, heaviest snows to our west. If you're visiting northern Michigan, maybe Chicago, parts of Wisconsin, they will have a white Christmas because of the storm.
All right, still a chance here.
There's always a chance.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. So stay with us. We'll be here.
All right, Jay, thank you. Still to come on Action News tonight, Uber rides, Uber complaints about one of the practices. And you cannot say a Detroit Lion put his best foot forward. The Lion caged for the most important game of the year. First, a look at tonight's winning lottery numbers from your official lottery station, 13 ABC. We're back in just a moment. Uber is looking to patent its controversial surge pricing program. That's when riders are charged extra during high demand. Uber is waiting for a decision from the U.S. Patent Office on this application. The company was criticized last week for using surge pricing to charge passengers trying to get away from the hostage crisis in Sydney, Australia. After several people complained, the company did offer free rides and refunds, but Uber has defended the practice, arguing that it does attract more drivers. New survey shows President Obama is not too popular with the U.S. military. The Military Times survey shows 15% of active duty service members approve of the president's performance. That's down from 35% in 2009. Over 2,300 active duty service members were surveyed. 60% also said they believe that gays and lesbians should be allowed to serve openly. That's one of Mr. Obama's major military policy changes. This body camera video from a police officer from Nevada proves he was in the right place at the right time. A strange 911 call led to a young boy who was choking. Hard to tell from the video here, but the officer hit the 3-year-old on the back until a piece of candy flew out of his mouth. The young boy's family says they are grateful for this officer's heroic act. People of Columbus celebrating a special birthday. Take a look here. Colo the gorilla turned 58 today. That's quite a feat considering the expected lifespan of western lowland gorillas is 37. Zoo visitors sang happy birthday to Colo as she opened the gifts, ate a special cake made of peanut butter, applesauce, honey, and shredded carrots with Greek yogurt frosting. Happy birthday. All right, slim chance 58-year-old Matt Campbell will be coaching the Toledo Rockets, but Toledo wants him here for the long term, that's for sure. Plus, Springfield Blue Devils take the court with a milestone in reach. Joe Nugent straight ahead.
13 ABC Action Sports teaming up with BCSN. Now, here's Joe Nugent.
2020, good vision and a very good year for Matt Campbell. Signs a 3-year contract extension through 2020.
It gives us the ability to continue to really show, I think it shows one from the university, they're supporting us and who we are and certainly with where we're going.
Next year, Matt's base salary moves up $20,000 to $305,000. His salary also, by the way, increases by that same $20,000 mark for the life of the contract. Important to point out, this is only the base salary. Coach also brings in somewhere in the neighborhood of an additional $160,000 per year in bonuses. Love the bowl season. BYU Memphis, the Tigers have to make a 55-yard field goal just to force a second overtime. It would have been good from 60. Memphis then follows it up with a touchdown. So all they need is a stop here in the second OT, and they deliver. Interception, game over. Tigers win 55-48. But here's where the chaos begins. Both teams start throwing haymakers. And don't tell me these guys don't care about a bowl game that is not exactly considered the best of the best. The Miami Beach Bowl turns into the Miami Beach Brawl. Crazy. Lions head to Green Bay with a possibility of landing a 1, 2, 3, or 6 seed in the NFC. However, they will be without Dominic Raiola. Ray suspended for 1 game for stepping on a Bears lineman. Ego Ferguson, the victim here. After the game, Dom said it was an accident. He reportedly will appeal. Okay, not an accident. Johnny Manziel will not play for the Browns in the season finale at Baltimore. He left yesterday's game in the first half with a left hamstring injury. Brian Hoyer, by the way, also banged up. High school hoop at a very special night for a Springfield guard. Natalie Yoder comes in just 2 points shy of 1,000 in her career. Springfield taking on Clay in the Keith Lowell Holiday Tournament over at Bowser. Yoder early. She gets the roll, and there it is. Relief as she hits 1,000 right on the mark. They stop the game for a quick ceremony as Clay wins the game 71-63.
Feels good, but I could not have done it without my team. Basketball is a team sport, and they helped me the whole way there.
That is a great teammate. Big Ten hoop, Miami, no match for the Buckeyes. Mark Loving going to work. The kid out of Toledo scores 16 with 8 boards, all Buckeyes 93-55. And how about this move? With close to 2 years left on a deal that pays Josh Smith $13 million a year, the Pistons say goodbye. They waive him. No trade, nothing. And they're going to keep paying him, only shooting 39% this year.
We're 5-23. That calls in every respect for some adjustments. Some things had to be different.
Okay.
An adjustment.
Yes, this is a slim adjustment, and
wow.
We'll see if it improves things.
All right. Josh is going to be okay. He'll be all right.
I think so.
All right, Joe, thanks very much. Wake up weather forecast just around the corner. First, a live view from our 13 ABC Downtown Action Cam. Hey, there's your Winterfest. Just about ready. Jay right back with what to expect tomorrow morning.
Rain showers likely overnight. Temps rising from 38, 50 tomorrow. Rain showers early, then dry. And here's your 7-day. Still windy, some rain, maybe some light snow. Christmas morning, 35.
All right, Jay, thank you. For Chief Meteorologist Jay Burschback, sports anchor Joe Nugent, I'm Lee Conklin. Have a good night, everyone. 13 ABC Action News. Good morning starts at 4:30.
Tonight, Meghan Trainor is all about the gravy.
I'm not